In Tyler Perry's The Family That Prays, Chris's kindness is often taken as a weakness. He's humble, he's soft-spoken, and he's, to some, a cuckold. But he's the one we all love and the one we're all rooting for. Chris has values. He may not be perfect, but he has moral values. And not everyone can live with nor can have a lasting interest in such a pure heart. Tyler Perry's The Family That Prays is messy, and in a film filled with such loud power plays, boardroom tension, and betrayal, Chris can seem like just another good guy in over his head. But if we pay attention, we see his quiet strength. We see his resilience. We see his drive to provide for his family and to reach every God dream that is in his heart. If we pay close attention to the man Andrea isn't paying attention to, we'll see that he isn't naive. He is, in fact, one of the most resourceful and calculating characters in the film. Let's talk about why. He has brains and vision for business. From the beginning, it's clear to us that Chris is more than just a hard worker. He's a builder. Chris has long-term plans and wants, as Pam puts it, just a little bit more.
I just think it's okay to want a little bit more.
Or maybe a whole lot more. He wants his own construction company. Oh, just not as big as the Cartwrights, he claims.
I mean, much smaller than this, of course.
Though he is unwise in asking William Cartwright to invest in what would be competition for Cartwright Towers, he shows initiative in doing so. Also, though unwise to figure that William would honestly hear him out simply because he works for him and because his wife works closely with him, Chris is diligent in stopping at nothing to acquire what he needs to reach his goal. He's working to start a construction business from the ground up, and he's doing it with integrity, strategy, and faith.
Now you need to have a little bit more faith, brother.
His integrity is in waiting his turn because time and chance happens for everyone. I love that he's patient and not frustrated while waiting for things to happen for him. His strategy is in reaching out to multiple businesses for loans.
Your husband has been talking to banks about starting his own company. And a few people have told me that he's tried to contact some of our competition for help.
Because, as the word says, who knows where profit may come, from this venture or from that one. Keep asking, keep waiting until you receive the opportunity you need. And his faith was that his dream was going to happen for him. Those who trust in God are never put to shame. And here we have one gentleman who kept his moral values and didn't step on anyone in order to get a leg up in life. His brains and vision for business display not only ambition, but also intelligence, especially when compared to William, the wealthy executive who inherited power, but who also, according to his own mother, hasn't learned a single thing she's tried to teach him.
You know nothing, but what I tried to teach you these last 3 years, you hadn't learned it yet.
He has humility, social intelligence, and emotional awareness. Chris knows how to connect with people. He is fully present, joyful, and grounded in social situations. At the wedding, he's not trying to impress anyone. He's simply being himself. He's building rapport, shaking hands, making people feel comfortable and right at home. He's even dancing and doing the robot with guests. He's neither too much nor too boring. He's simply Chris and simply enough. And because he has such a gentle demeanor and welcoming presence, he's the person everyone remembers from previous encounters.
Chris, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chris.
He's also genuinely humbled by the fact that Jillian remembered him. Chris is someone who engages with life. He lives in the moment. He lives fully in every moment, even when it's uncomfortable. And speaking of uncomfortable, let's talk about those moments before the wedding when he's speaking with Ben and is nervous about marrying Andrea. He is almost hyperventilating. The cricket flower is symbolic of what Chris is feeling. Cricket or sideways flowers can imply that a person isn't being completely honest about his feelings and or is making a decision that ignores or suppresses his intuition. But when Ben asks Chris if Chris thinks he's making the right decision, Chris doesn't say yes. He simply says, "I should marry her." He shakes off his reservations about marrying Andrea and moves forward with marrying her. I believe he did this because he wanted to honor Andrea. He didn't want to shame her by leaving her at the altar. He was probably very much aware of her childhood and didn't want to be another man who walked away from her. Andrea's father abandoned the family during Andrea's formative years, and I'm sure that Chris didn't want to be just another man who rejected and left her during such a vulnerable yet transformative time in her life, her wedding day. Therefore, out of empathy and care for Andrea's emotional history, Chris led with heart and chose compassion over self-protection. He had good intentions. I don't believe in discounting good intentions, so in this analysis, I am not discounting Chris's good intentions. He started in love and wanted to remain in love. As long as he played some role in ensuring the care of Andrea's heart, he was going to see that care through with every fiber of his being and with every fiber in his overalls. He employs courage. Chris has courage. There's no courage without some nerves, and we do sometimes see the manifestation of those nerves through his stuttering. Chris stutters when nervous. I believe he has psychogenic stuttering brought on by situational anxiety. Psychogenic stuttering is simply stuttering that arises from psychological factors such as stress or anxiety. When in his element, such as at his wedding, Chris is calm, cool, and collected. In this instance, he can speak to William without stuttering.
You know, I work in construction too. I've been trying to get on that building you have downtown.
Do you guys see how he speaks so articulately and confidently when meeting William for the first time at his wedding?
Well, when I was in the military, I worked on a lot of construction.
He's speaking well here because there are no power nor status imbalances. But when in a high stress or emotionally charged situation, his speech breaks up a bit.
Just wanted to run.
Again, the stuttering is triggered by situational anxiety and is seen only when he's speaking with William.
I was thinking about starting my own construction company. Well, none. You are the first person I've...
No stuttering, including Chris's stuttering, is a sign of low intelligence. Chris is most likely aware of his anxiety-induced stuttering, especially since his wife wanted to mock him for it.
He can carry on a conversation with the business world without stuttering.
And maybe he even considers it a thorn in his side. I mean, just look at his facial expression after he stutters here.
Run a few ideas by you, that's all.
But he moves forward anyway. He moves forward with any perceived flaw because he knows that there's something greater in his future, and he doesn't allow the truth that sometimes his speech falters to keep him from pursuing leadership and ownership. Nothing keeps Chris from moving forward one step at a time, not even his wife's words that William doesn't see construction workers. In the eyes of some, Chris may not be very polished 100% of the time, but he's certainly principled, and he would have been an excellent representation of a man for Andrea's son. Chris is articulate, strategic, emotionally perceptive, and ambitious. Through him, we see that intelligence isn't always loud. It isn't always boastful. It's not always dressed in a suit or carrying a large bank account. Sometimes it's the guy in the background, dancing at the wedding, trying to do the right thing even when it doesn't feel very good. Intuitive and grounded, Chris worked for the family that has been known to prey on the weak, but he was not weakened by them. Instead, he came out stronger, using their own resources, their money and mistakes, to build what would be the start of his empire. Ethical and decisive, Chris represents the ordinary man, layered, principled, quietly in the pursuit of clarity, remaining on the straight and narrow as much as possible from season to season, pursuing when he needs to pursue, and walking away when he needs to do the same. He is emotionally intelligent, socially aware, business-minded. Though his enemies, whether they were heels or cufflinks, hoped that he would remain soft and stuck, Chris kept an eagle eye on his dream, quietly building while those very enemies were falling apart. His quiet brilliance is a reminder to all of us to walk in forgiveness, to accept our weaknesses, and to hold tightly to our morals and strengths, because each of these things can be used to bring about the will of God for our lives. Love you guys. God bless. Thanks for watching, and leave your thoughts down below.